All right, welcome back, everyone. Um, I hadn't played the last two nights and haven't streamed in a week. Well, last two nights I just needed a break from just Magic and just in general. But I think the new list is actually pretty strong. So if I understand correctly, I think Eternal Weekend is next weekend for Europe. Is that accurate? If anybody on stream knows or on Twitch chat, I think I saw it was like November 18th. Let me just check. So part of my motivation tonight was to stream in case people are prepping for that. But let me just double check. Legacy dates, EW. Yeah, November 17th to 19th. So it is next week. So for those who are prepping, I wanted to give another video out there to for those trying to learn the play patterns before next for Eternal Weekend. Here's kind of where I'm at the moment. Um, I'm very sure about, in my opinion, 73 of the 75 cards. So, this is just ignoring Legolas's quick reflexes, which I don't think is going to make the list, but maybe as a one up, we'll see. But I'm convinced about the Shepherd. Yeah, I think it just does enough, and it's kind of not the central game plan against um, Force of Will combo decks, but it's an important part of how we win, so to speak. So I think I'm sold enough on the single copy. The other thing is like, what are we gonna play instead? I don't think there's anything like that much better or better at all. So the 59 cards in the main deck that I'm sure about is everything but Fauna Shaman, which limited sample size. I like it in theory as a tutorable two drop via Green Sun that doesn't die to an early Orcish Bowmasters. In my opinion, it is kind of important to be able to punish opponents who think they can just ignore the turn one dork. And unfortunately, with Bowmasters, while it's not particularly good against us, if our opponent is daring us to have a play that gets past Bowmasters per se, if they ignore our turn one play, then as far as I can think of, I think Fauna Shaman is pretty neat. And I ran this by Matt Ellington, who actually liked the idea in general because he said, well, it's not exciting the way Fiend Artisan is on a board because of the broken board states that Fiend Artisan creates. But Fauna Shaman actually what it does is you can actually find Fiend Artisan, and now the Fiend Artisan can be played without fear of the first Bowmasters, right? I don't like generous end. I played it, and I drew the card as like I never want to draw this card again. That's how I felt about the card personally. It's like very situational. Like the one scenario I can think of where it's good is maybe like you need to grow a Fiend Artisan for some reason. But again, it's not even tutorable, right? Like the way Fauna Shaman can bypass, so to speak, the first Orca Bowmaster if they're daring us to beat it. So that's the logic for that. If it's not good enough, I played it. I almost 5-0 with this list and it was actually good the one time that it was relevant, and then I drew it two other times where I was already way ahead. But I had it in a league where I lost the 5-0 ironically to 8 casts of all decks, but it was good one time and two times it didn't matter. I was already way ahead, and it would have been okay at least one of those other times. The sideboard is gonna look random. This is also by design. So I had a conversation with Jonathan Zhang a long time ago, and he's the one that opened my eyes, and I think I'm a much better deck builder than I was even like last year. He was the one that said Leyline of the Void as a one of is one of the most egregious things from a value perspective because it is impossible for your opponent to play around, and it's pretty much you have 11% chance of just auto win on the spot, like against some of these graveyard decks, and by extension, one ofs in general are just broken. Now, the question is, then why just not play Highlander? Well, that's because some cards are just inherently stronger than others. So, for instance, Guy's Cradle is the strongest card in our deck. We're gonna play 4 copies, but after a while, the EV of certain of cards are roughly the same. So like, what I mean by that is like, in my opinion, Snuff Out is the best card in the sideboard in terms of like EV. So it's like almost main deck good. In fact, we have main deck, 4 copies during Initiative era. Now, since then, there have been changes to the deck because it's no longer as needed. The metagame has slowed down a little bit. Also, endurance means we don't like lose to Blood Moon because we feel priced into fetching for Snuff Out preemptively. It's just a little things that make, to me right now, for endurance really strong in the main deck. But this is like can be easily in a 4 of in the main deck in some other metagame like Initiative. Thoughtseize, at the end of the day, we're not a Force of Will deck and we're not a Chalice deck. I think we do not want to accidentally lose a combo if we can help it. I don't think there's a replacement for this card. Like the closest thing is Endurance, which we're already playing. So that's why those 4 ofs make sense to me. But everything else, I think the value is like not overwhelmingly greater than everything else. And that's why it'll look pretty random, but I have 7 1-ofs. Force of Vigor, God Teague, Crime Punishment, Pithing Needle, Legion's End, which is, in my opinion, the shakiest card in the sideboard. So I told you, I think I'm like pretty sure about 73 out of 75. Opposition Agent, which uh, Inigo Runcor pointed out to me that we probably have a problem against Green White Depths. So I wanted better mapping so I can ward out like all the endurances, for instance, in that matchup. And then Fairy Macabre, which is kind of gross with Fauna Shaman, but essentially is my 9th graveyard hate card, right? So that's the logic behind that. There's a chance. Actually, I forgot. Shout out to my boy Romario, who finished second in the challenge today. Now, granted, he picked a different, Creature Matters deck. Picked Turbo Muxus, but I wanted to shout out my boy Romario for that. Maybe if Goblins picks up, I don't even know how good Plague Engineer is, to be honest, against Turbo Muxus. I surmise it's probably not great. It probably has some, text, but not particularly great. But if people think, Infect is playable again, I personally don't. But, or if there's just a lot of Infect in your metagame, or people for some reason play a lot of combo elves in your metagame, I think Plague Engineer is like a reasonable addition instead of maybe the Legion's End. And the Crime Punishment I like just in general because I think we are a little bit soft to the card, specifically Urza Saga. So I like the 1-of. So that is, to me, how I arrived at this latest list. Obviously, things can change before now and Europe Eternal Weekend. But if I were to register right now or recommend a list, it would definitely be 73 of the 75, and then Season to Taste. If you don't want to play Fauna Shaman, obviously, there's a very high floor on the second Gris. The obvious question is like, why not more copies of Bowmasters? I could like write a full essay about this, but I'm not going to. Long story short, I don't think it's necessary, and inherently makes you weaker against some decks when you don't need to be. That's the long story short. Namely, more black cards, so your mana's worse. You have horrible mapping against some like green white depths otherwise. Bad against lands, bad against Moon Stompy. There's a lot of random weaknesses that I don't think we need to open ourselves up to. And I think you beat the blue decks anyways if you play tight, especially with the second Gris. That helps there. And again, you could play a sideboard Plague Engineer if your metagame calls for it, but that's more or less where we're at. So let's get started. Oh, one other thing. As much as it pains me, I'm playing one Besage. I forgot to mention that. And the logic is pretty straightforward. I think the mana base is good enough that I can handle another utility land. And it kind of fits in as the 8th 1-of from the sideboard. Like, I wanted a second Disenchant instead of Force of Vigor. Yeah, so hey Bookish man, how's it going? So I wanted a second Disenchant, and I didn't actually want to play the card. I forgot what it is. The 2 mana like exile not exile, destroy, exile a graveyard as well. I don't remember what it's called, but okay, we're playing against likely show and tell, I think, against Joe L. Not the changeling, although the changeling is like reasonable. Mass Vandal. I'm thinking of the like it's a distant chant like plus it's a green card. It's a naturalize, I guess. No, it's an instant. It's like either it's an instant kills an enchantment or it kills an artifact or you can like, exile a card from a graveyard. I don't remember what it's called. Like that came to mind, obviously. Mass Vandal is obviously like reasonable in some metagames. Yeah, nature is something I think. That sounds accurate. Um, oops, what am I doing? Why did I do that? So I think in the dark I would just keep this against anybody. Let's just okay. I think most people are here because they like want to learn. I'm not gonna assume my opponent's on like show and tell. They most likely are, but I would keep this in the dark, so I just keep it here. Like, I'm not trying. I really dislike, especially for testing purposes, assuming you know what your opponent's on. Like, I think it makes you a worse player, but in my opinion. Not Nature's Claim though. Well, I mean, it is not Nature's Claim, but Nature's Claim is one of the destroy whatever card. All right, we're gonna once first. I don't think we want to thin here. We'll give our opponent full information. Oh, we're gonna get a Fiend. Return to Nature. Yes, that's the card I'm thinking of. Like, I don't really want to play that card to be honest. So I wanted a second disenchant. It kind of serves me as another one of right, and to an extent, Bowmasters and Fauna Shaman are kind of like more one-ofs. I don't count Grist in that category because I'm going to be playing Grist regardless. Like, the card's just too good not to play. I'm like closer to 2 copies than anything else. None of the other cards I'm like close to 2 copies, whereas Grist, I kind of want to play 2, but I can't. What? What? Look at the 5, put one of them in your hand, the rest on top of your library. Oh, goodness. Alright. I think we're playing against Vesuvian Shape or whatever that the show and tell card. What in the world's going on? So I think what I'm gonna do is play out the Cradle, play out the Fiend. Is this the first league with Fonsham, or has she been putting in work? Great question. I mentioned that earlier, I think before you probably signed on, Bookish Man. I did not play the last 2 nights. I played 2 leagues the night. So, what's today's date? Today is Saturday. I didn't play Friday, I played Thursday. I played a league Wednesday and Tuesday. And I think I drew her 3 times total, if I remember. At least 3 times. 2 times I was already way ahead, and then 1 time let's do it this way. 2 times I was already way ahead, and then 1 time I forced this. Who knows? It was actually quite good. It won a game against Reanimator. Okay, so I didn't mention that interaction, by the way. Fauna Shaman, besides being X2 to survive Bowmasters, which is relevant in like the mirror, for instance. Which card? Oh, interesting. Oh, Fauna Shaman, sure. Yeah. I think here. So the interaction with Endurance in particular and Fair Macabre are very good. Also, the ability to just find Grist or Atraxa off show and tell is also quite good. That is like unique to the card. Uh, yeah, I think I like Shaman here too. For a second, I forgot Gris is in the deck. I could have got Gris if they show and tell, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So the applications against Reanimator in particular are just obscene. Not that we need more help there, but like it doesn't hurt, right? Like we're we're getting to a point where I can't believe I'm saying this. Like maybe we don't need Leyline to be favored. Like I think ignoring Shaman for a second, right? I think right now against Reanimator is like pretty 50-50. It helps that we have main deck endurance, but you don't know to mull for it, right? Like if you have it by chance, then that's good. But sometimes I've been got because I just keep like a good hand and just like they turn one all in on reanimate, and I could just mull for endurance, but I didn't know. Sure. So I could have got Gris, but sure. I was like so tunnel vision into the show and tell there. Yeah, I think I punted this game. I probably win. I think if I had just gotten Gris. Sure. But live and learn. They're gonna force. No, they have force in their deck. All right. We have we have to pray, right? We'll see. Wow, they don't have it. Oh, we just win. Okay, I'm better looking than good, I guess. I mean, we have lethal here, right? All right. Our opponent said they lost because of Thoughtseize, which I didn't think about, but that's fair. So it's a punt and then a punt back. It happens. All right. All right. Let's see. I think we want C's. Uh, too cute or just cute enough here? Bookish Matt, what would be the application? You're talking about reanimate our opponent's creature? I think that's too cute. Especially since, um, yeah, if you're talking about the high roll, take your opponent's creature play, I think the fact that we need, I think the fact that we need a Noble Hierarch is the problem. I think if it was instant speed, that's probably maybe worth trying to cheese. The problem is, I don't think. I think if your opponent reanimates a creature, you're probably getting mind twisted. Almost forgot the fairy macabre. I don't think I like any of the other stuff. I don't like Atraxa in case they just try to reanimate it. I don't like Shepherd. Actually, Shepherd might be okay since they're a Force of Will deck. But I don't think this is the right matchup. I have to make two more cuts here. What would be? Maybe it's this, and then we just keep the oof. Because in this, like normally I don't like Shepherd against Reanimator, but they are a little bit different because of Force of Will. Maybe it's fine. I don't like Needle personally. It doesn't pitch to Endurance. Let's see if I forgot anything here. I don't like this when they can reanimate and we just probably lose our own card. The other stuff's like probably okay. I think it's reasonable. We have turn one C's, right? Keep. Yeah, I think so too. I'm against most graveyard combo. I think we want to cut natural order. All right, we might see an Entomb in response. We'll see. That's kind of what we imagined, right? Like, what else could it be? Lorien revealed Needle and Animate dead. Interesting. I mean, obviously, Show and Tell is a card. I don't think I'm playing around that because I think we just take the Animate dead here. Like the last few leagues, I went 4-1 in both of my Fauna Shaman league, and I'm one of them was the 8 cast I said I lost. The other 4-1, I like threw a match against Reanimator because I like tunnel vision to a cheese line. I'm getting too enamored with trying to cheese opponents instead of just taking the right line and like trying to mana screwing our opponent. I just think that's bad magic on my behalf there, and I lost another match to like Cephalid Breakfast a couple of leagues back before Shaman, like due to similar circumstances. I think we just play it safe, and then they probably name Reclaimer, I'd imagine. Maybe Fiend Artisan. How did the Entomb... Okay. Fiend Artisan, okay, sure. I think we play around days here. Well, actually, yeah, play around days. They show in here. We probably put in the Bowmass. Actually, the Atraxa makes it kind of tough, to be honest. I think we just die. They had the Show and Tell there. Land plus Show and Tell, I mean. They shuffled out the Ponder previously, which is a good sign. I think if we get an untapped step here, we're probably in good shape. It's a little bit different because they have forcible too, um, and obviously show and tell's good, but so the lore reveal bottoms the other two cards. They're gonna put that. That makes sense. All right, that makes it easy. I think we. I don't really like them doing that. So the problem with the vision is like they could put show and tell plus a creature on top. So that's a disaster in my opinion. I think we take the vision and if they hope they. No, because what if they thought sees it and then reanimate? You lose, right? No, I thought about it, but I think you just lose if they do that. Let's do that. We're not gonna give them that. Our opponent teased me, man. I said, "Oh, this is the second time you're reading Vision." There's an argument to be made that maybe I'm supposed to take the Atraxa there, actually. Uh-oh. I don't want to see that. Actually, I'm thinking about it now. Maybe I'm supposed to just bin the Atraxa. So they have to find two cards, right? Oh, okay. Easy mode, I guess. Uh, take easily the dress down. So the danger is if they do the other one, they can find the reanimate, but I'm starting to think that it's maybe correct to take their diabolic vision. All right. Unfortunately, that happened. I'm gonna put in the fiend because it can put Gris into play. So I have full information here, luckily. Oh, they can show in. Oh, I think I just lost. Show in Omniscience Archon. Jeez, that's pretty nuts. Underground Sea. I think I know their hand. Sure. They probably need the Fauna Shaman. Yeah, Hoof is out, unfortunately. And they have a 4 still. Yeah, I think I screwed up. I think I should have taken the what are we doing here? I think I should have taken the Atraxa. All right, let's see. When did I have Reclaimer? Hey Mike, how's it going? What are we doing here? The problem is I have to kill this somehow, and I can't. Our opponent is trying to argue with me that I picked correctly when they don't know our deck, so that kind of irritates me. I think we get a. I think we just thin, to be honest. I think we need to be able to well, it doesn't matter. Problem here is. Oh, we can't even shaman. That's right. That's a disaster. If we had lair there, how much would that have been? Not enough, unfortunately, because of force. I think we're on a no outer because of force. What is? All right, let's try to get game 3. I try not to tilt from opponent right now. hoping they like force this or something. I doubt it, but you never know. Like, do we even show it? I think we're just straight up dead, right? I don't think we have an out. I just concede. I don't think I want to reveal anything. All right, let's try not to punt this time. Hey Jay Z, how's it going? I am trying to play fire. Yeah, one egregious punt on my behalf already today. Like, I keep overthinking it. Like, just take the thing that kills you. Like, which is attracts show and tell attracts and kills us there. And I don't know why I'm like thinking about diabolic visions into like show and tell when the other thing already kills me like as is, right? Like sure, they could have, show and tell and then see the other card, right? That could happen. But then they have to have both parts, right? Like that's low percentage. It's just like overthinking it. Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, Jonathan, that actually I mentioned you actually the with the one of Leyline the Void to scare the Reanimator players. Uh, Final noob here. Is anything but a noob. It's where he's the person that gave me the inspiration for like all these one ofs, right? Let's try not to tilt here. Maybe we can redeem ourselves, right? That's pretty good. I think we go turn one Reclaimer, force them to have the Force or Show and Tell, and even if they have Show and Tell, Grix is pretty dang good here. They force, we still have Endurance backup. If they try to go underneath, I don't think their deck seems a little slow. Then we'll work around that. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It loses to some hands, but not many. Obviously, they can still force into turn one reanimation, but I don't think they're Dark Ritual player. Seize probably. Yeah. So if they take Grist, they probably Show and Tell. We'll find out right now. I am a little concerned about them taking Grist, to be honest. Yep. So that is a problem. I think the line here is like if they show, we're gonna probably put the Grist back in our deck. Uh, Show and Tell reanimation variant, like hybrid. Oh my god! Don't tell me they're gonna age at me. This cuts off Thoughtseize top deck, but I think we're just trying to end the game like as fast as we can here. I want to keep the Arbor in my hand to pitch the Endurance. If something were to happen to this Reclaimer, I can't even get Grist. That is the awkward part. Fiend would be okay. Oops. The problem with Shaman here is it doesn't beat show and tell, right? We're trying to, and I think we can beat the reanimation now. I think they have show and tell, but unfortunately, the Grist is already in the yard. No, they don't have it. That's my plan, Mike. It, it's like really awkward that I'm playing one and we drew it and they discarded it. What's going on here? Dress down? Mm, let's try to finish this game like as quickly as possible. That's a pretty good top deck, I'm not gonna lie. This might drop force, we'll see. I think now I'm gonna endurance myself. Oh, oh my god, that's bad. I forgot about the thing. Okay, we'll attack then. I think if we do it right there, we're supposed to get Fauna Shaman. At least we have a clock, I guess. Oh, they're just dead, I think. They are just dead, I think. They're gonna have to force this endurance on myself. Or daze it, one or the other. I think if they tap out, they're just dead, right? Let's see, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 8, that's like a million, yeah. This card is like surprisingly way better than I thought it would ever be. Like, it's even better than before, and like despite not having tramp, it closes games extremely quickly with Grise Cradle. Or abysses your opponent, right? If they're like trying to, like imagine a Delaware player trying to play defense against you. It's just a disaster for them. Her. They're gonna needle the layer, I think. Oh, they don't see it. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't think it matters. There's like a million, right? It's already I think it's already lethal on board with this. Let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so they have to force. And then I don't think they see that I have lethal with lair. You see my sweater? I just noticed something. Alright, I'm back. Let's see if this is working. It wasn't last time. Okay, it is now. Alright. Alright, we played horribly there, but we got lucky to win. Truth be told, didn't deserve it, to be honest, given how poorly we played. Alright, putting on a sweater because kind of cold here. I'll keep it. It's like the 6 is fine. This is maybe shaky, who knows. Hey, Mark Chalice. The deck list is here, for what it's worth. In the side. I don't know how to describe it. Goblins. Okay, this is Romario's work here. We're a heavy dog game 1 against Turbo Muxes. I'm trying to think what is. I think we want to thin here, like. Wondering if the deck is getting to the point where we sacrifice the NO free wins for more opening hand consistency. My gut opinion on that is probably not. I think it's the Reclaimer. I just think NO, from a strategic point, is just too necessary. The Highlander, because we're playing like a million one-ups now. Like, the sideboard is a playset of Thoughtseize, a playset of Snuff Out, and all one-ups. I think my ideal sideboard is actually 15 one-ups. But it's hard to do because certain cards are better than others. That's a thing, I guess. Alright, what's the line here? If I pitch... Okay, I think I have the line. If I pitch Atraxa, I can get Endurance. Endurance myself into natural, or pitching the Reclaimer. Okay, that's the line. Shaman. As much as I would love to have all one-ofs, the only way that would work is if all the cards are of equal value, which they're not. If they're close, I think you get a lot of equity because your deck becomes impossible to play around. Like, people can't just Google your list. Oh, the guy has 3 Force of Vigor, 2 Leyline of the Void, whatever. Right? I know for a fact people do that against me, and it's like a little tilting. Not gonna lie, but it's within the bounds of the rules of it's within the rules of online. So like, the way you do that is you either play a different deck, or you change your deck consistently, or you just play all one-ofs, and then it's like hard for them to play around, right? If you're gonna play all one-ofs, or as many one-ofs as you can, then that kind of mitigates that. Or just play a different deck, right? There's that too. Oh my god. Alright. Before, what I would do is I would just consistently change all my sideboard cards, like every few days, so that people can't just like guess what I'm on. Oh my god. So the problem is, even I put Atraxa into play, the Skirk can now mitigate the life loss. Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're like near dead. Let's see. 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think we just take... Let me just make sure. 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Yeah, we just have a hoof win. We don't even need to like Atraxa or we just have lethal here. This is why we play natural order. I don't know who brought it up earlier. Great question, Harry. That is a very astute. Okay, answer key gaming brought it up. Yeah, see, this is why I play natural. Like, this is the bailout, right? Like you just don't care what your opponent's doing, just one card win. So great question here. The idea behind Fauna Shaman is twofold. One, and more importantly, I'm not gonna play a fifth Fiend Artisan for the heck of it, but that is probably the second reason. The primary reason why I'm playing Fauna Shaman is because I'm sure you know this, Harry, too. It is a little bit awkward when, especially a Green Sun Zenith deck, right? Like, it's a little bit awkward to have Green Sun on 2 and your opponent is about to untap with Bowmasters potentially. And you can't get Fiend Artisan because it's going to die if they didn't kill your turn 1 play. I wanted a card that was good enough to Green Sun for, that is proactive and doesn't die to Bowmasters. And I think that card is Fauna Shaman because what it can do is it can find the Fiend Artisan after the fact, and then you play the Fiend Artisan. Like, it punishes your opponent for not killing your Dork. And that is the whole idea with it. Not to mention, it's like fringe scenarios where it's better. For instance, like it's better with Endurance, like against Doomsday. Better with Fairy Macabre. It's like playing at instant speed against combo is just kind of gross. Whereas Fiend Artisan is playing at sorcery speed. That's the other scenario where it's a little bit better. But the main idea is I wanted a Green Sun target, and I'm sure Green Sun players, Maverick players who are, our cousins slash friends, allies, whatever you want to call it, but we've all been there. Like, we have 3 mana on 2, and we can't get Fiend Artisan because it's going to die to Bowmasters, and I wanted a threat that essentially bypasses that. And for a while, I was trying things like, what is that card? The Wayfinder, something Wayfinder. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, what are we playing against right now? Goblins. That's right. So let's put in our snuff outs before we get got here. Legion's End. Does that do anything against them? I think it may be. I don't want that. I don't want that. Not great, but interesting. It's got snuff out. I like that. I might have rushed the board wrong. Okay, I bought. Yeah. In general, what is it for? It's my Mirror Lage out. I'm assuming Mirror Lage players know it's a main phase against our deck. If they don't, I'm just hoping to outplay them if they don't know that. Also, it's like randomly that maps against multiple different decks. Answers like Cauldra. That it's probably the weakest card in the 75, to be honest. It could easily be like a Plague Engine or something. I think. Yeah, I think I don't remember if it was this. I need to think about how I want to board in this matchup. I just kind of like pick cards at random at the moment. Sure. Alright, I got to set a stop here. One thing I will forget is against like Moon Stompy. Like, I forget about the stop and then they get the token for free when I'm holding Snuff Out. It's like really awkward on my behalf. Ugh. I kept his hand on the power of Snuff Out alone. Maybe I'm gonna live to regret it. We'll see. Here, I don't think I'm winning it if I don't answer this Rabble Master. And if they moon me, they moon me. Like, I think that we just live with it. By moon, I mean maggots, obviously. If they get me here, they get me here. Like, it is what it is, right? Wow, okay. What the heck did our opponent keep? I guess it was all in on Ravenous, and they're hoping to just draw the second creature. I don't even know. Why did we take so much so far? We snuff out. That's awkwardly gonna live. Sure. We took 2 from the token, I guess. We took 4. Oh my god. We that right? We took 2 from the token, 3, 7. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I think it makes sense now to kill the token before they can do anything to it. They can sack it for mana or whatnot. Sure. Actually, what am I doing? I'm like making mistakes left and right. Supposed to kill the prospector because they don't have a card in hand. I just pass. We'll go to 10. We're at virtual 10 already. Yeah, see now we get punished, right? No, I guess we didn't do that. We need to kill the prospector, to be honest. Sticker goblin, sure. It's not the end of the world, I guess. It's a million damage, though. We have to block the Rabble Master. It's just how. We trade here, and then we can go boom, boom, and then maybe stabilize. We're going to a virtual 4, 5. So we're going to 5. Or we trade these 2 and then hit it this way. But then our endurance lives. I think I like that better, personally. And then we cut them off the mana. Well, I guess they have Sticker Goblin anyway, so it's not going to matter. Ironically, our misplay might have saved us. Question here is, do we trade? I think we kind of have to. We go to 2 and then just keep attacking. Reclaimer, that's not bad. I like that. Depending what this hits. Another Reclaimer. I think we bash and hope that our Tarmogoyfs get there. At least we shut off 1 tomb. Wow, okay, I did not expect to win. Better lucky than good, I guess. Alright, we'll continue. The irony was we only kept in 2 endurances, and they actually helped stabilize that game. Shout out to Josh, actually, Temple, Blade of Ice for the recommendation. Originally, I was keeping Force of Vigor in to try to cheese a Chromox. I think that's, in hindsight, pretty foolish. He was the one that recommended just play Endurance as a Tomogorth, and it's been working out really well. So shout out to Josh. I think for those who are just joining in right now, obviously the question I've been getting a lot recently is why only one Bowmasters? The short answer is I don't think we need it. I think it adds more power to the deck because there's some free wins against certain decks. Obviously, combo Elves comes to mind. Before they innovated, like 8 cast came to mind. The thing is, like, in respect to our deck, especially since we're primarily or ideally only a mono green deck, I think it introduces more weaknesses than is necessary. So what I mean by that is, I think the decks that it's good against, you would probably win anyways. At least the way the deck is currently constructed. But then it makes you weaker against a lot of the non-blue decks, namely some of these Merit Lage decks, Moonstompy decks. I think you get a lot worse against those kind of decks when you don't need to. This person, the few times I've played them have been on like all kinds of different decks. I don't know what they're on. I think we're just gonna play it safe and fetch here. Hopefully we don't get like opposition agent out of nowhere. Interesting. We're just an F6. We're not gonna do anything else, right? So, hear me out. It's probably at its best, to be honest, against Delver. The problem is like it competes with a lot of really good cards in our deck against that are already good against Delver, but those cards are not bad elsewhere. So what I mean by that is, I think the best card in our deck against Delver is actually Mana Dorks. Like, I think our top end is so much better than theirs that if we just hit, if we have mana, we're not gonna lose. Like my experience against Delver. Like everything is a must kill. Uh, and I think because it's competing with really endurance and dorks, because endurance is the card that's like not always good, right, so to speak. It's like kind of bad against some of these D&T style decks. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Right. So it's also bad from if you're behind too, right? That's the other problem with the card. I just don't think our deck needs it. Like it doesn't solve any particular problem that our deck has. Interesting. Like a dork is bad, like obviously as a top deck if we were to have a lot of mana already, but not even because the Exalted is like pretty relevant. Alright, they're gonna waste that. Sure. I think we're gonna main phase the endurance here. The days is the days, right? Like C'est la vie, right? Like we can't have that in Murktide. I'm not gonna pitch the natural order either. Okay. So the reason, yeah, I guess now we can deck thin. Ironically enough, because the last fetch is earmarked for Arbor anyways. I think we main phase this. Oh, Jesus. Okay. We have a couple outs. Waste this here. That's fine. We're gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna jinx and say what we cannot draw. We're all in on a certain she. Okay. Small misplay potentially by me. I guess it depends what I want to lose to, right? I could have hit a one drop and then play the one drop off body, but then I get stuck off mana and maybe lose to Wasteland. Okay, we know that we're gonna do that regardless. So it makes sense to do it here. Um, I think we get. Does Cradle even do anything here? I don't think so. The problem is I need to play a land anyway, so if I can't play a creature. Okay, I think it's Cradle, because if I get a creature, I can try to redo it next turn. Okay, we're all in. Like, there's no, you can't play around it anymore. All right. Once Lair, the fetches are dead. I think the endurance. Well, for sure the Green Sun, and I feel like it's the endurance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think given we don't want them to like Murktide suddenly, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I mean, I think we're ahead anyway. I don't like it has to be borrow or bust, right? Like against. That's what I was gonna do for what it's worth. Answer Key Gaming. I think I think if they have the borrower, we're gonna have to rely on Artisan anyways. I think we endurance there so they don't like randomly go Murktide into borrowers. I don't know. Like off the top of my like, what do we lose to, right? I think we're extremely favored in this matchup. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the Delver matchup has never been better. And that's even including when I think it was the most broken before, which was during the Ragavan era. Like, we were extremely broken against them too during that time because they have 4 dead cards against us, right? Not to mention some of them had like main deck Pyroblast, just a million dead cards. I don't love this card, but it's like I'm trying to do the bare minimum against Delver. I just don't respect that I just daring them to beat us, I guess. And like I said, Hierarchs are just completely broken against Tempo decks. Like, I feel like we have to keep, even though I don't love it. Like we have 2 shots at hit a Latin, and then we do the hand becomes pretty solid. For those who are curious, I've only drawn Crime once, but I got to reanimate a Fury, which is pretty funny. Against Painter. Are they most likely gonna bolt whatever we do? In the event that they don't, I think we get punished. I think we just play it anyways. Almost certain they're gonna bolt us here, but you never know. Okay. So the line now is like we're gonna run up. If they were to bolt us, we're gonna play the cradle and then bait out in days and then evoke the endurance to pay for days. But that might not happen here. Maybe it's Bowmaster. Who knows? And then what we would do is probably pitch the crime punishment. They kept what looks like a slow hand. I think they are in, unless they're having some kind of haymaker that I'm not foreseeing here. I don't know, Fury or something, or like, I don't know. I haven't seen a rough tumble in a while, but you never know, I guess. Okay, there's the snuff out that we anticipated. So I was sloppy, I think, in the last league where I didn't play the guy's cradle first. I got punished. Here, I'm gonna do it now, and then if they daze, I'm gonna pay for days with evoke. Excuse me? Okay, our opponent decided to essentially mulligan for no reason. Right. What is going on? So at least it's telegraphed now. Maybe unless they don't see the line, but we can pay through days now. Um, Man, that this makes it harder. So if they don't see it, I feel like we're gonna let's give our opponent the benefit of the doubt. I think I'm gonna double ramp. It's just whether to. I'm gonna do it safe. I'm gonna give my opponent the benefit of the doubt that they see the days line. Rather than expose my cradle to wasteland. Nah, I don't like to pitch endurance when I boarded out natural order. The logic is it becomes really hard to win because you don't have a way to come back. Okay, what are we doing here? All right, we're gonna cast endurance no matter what. So we're gonna main phase this first one and see what happens. Sure. I don't think I want to run the second endurance in 2 days here. I'm just gonna leave mana up. There's a chance I'm supposed to just do all of this on their ends upkeep anyways. I think the game is probably already over. Like endurance is obscene against them. They had their one window. We had shields down last turn, where if they murktide us, maybe we're in trouble a little bit. I think the game might already be over. We're just gonna start the aggro plan now. They want to force as they can. All that matters. Sure. We're not gonna run our things into bowmasters here. They want to kill one of them. I think it's fine. I don't want to give them extra value when it's unnecessary. Especially since we just drew a dork. So here's 4 damage. And then just, we're gonna deck thin. Sure. They know our hand, so there's no need to bluff anything. I actually didn't even think about that. I thought there's no realistic way, but I guess it's within the realm. Like technically speaking, we could have, right? Like that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. We get like crime for 8. Sorry, punishment for 8. And then lose it. Alright, they submerge. Sure. Makes sense. Makes sense. I didn't play around it. The submerge there actually makes sense. Okay, that's kind of obscene, but Thoughtseize bug, right? Or similar. Yeah, so we're just way miles ahead. They had the one. We had shields now for 1 turn. And if they had Murktide, maybe this game is like very different. But the minute we got untapped, in my mind, this game is over. Like double endurance in hand, one of them is probably gonna stick, and our opponent is backs against the rope, so to speak. All right, we're playing against a scam player. We'll see how it goes. I think this was the person that assaulted me last time. They said my draws were unreal, or something like that. No ball. So, if our opponent doesn't Bowmasters or Hierarchy here, which I think they will. No, okay, they did that. That's fine. What to do? What to do? So it's Fauna Shaman or Artisan. I feel like this is sort of a must kill, so we're just gonna run it out. We'll see. Maybe they daze it. I think if they daze it, we're fine with that. Sure. Better that than Artisan, right? Better that than Artisan. What's gonna happen here? A little bit nervous about a Murktide Regent. A little bit nervous about a Murktide Regent. Cause, well, let me think. Can our hand beat a Murktide Regent? I guess with Artisan it can. Correct. Can just upkeep what? Endurance? I'm trying to read their hand here. Like they cast brainstorm, so they could have the endurance, and then maybe they draw endurance and days. That would be pretty bad for us. The thing is, like, if we go shepherd into artisan, like, how are they beating us? Like, that still loses to Murktide, right? I guess maybe not because that presumably we get the Bayou, they waste it. We have 2 mana plus a creature, and then we can't kill the Murktide maybe the same turn. I guess it gets punished. I think we play it safe. And by safe, I mean just upkeep endurance. This sticks, they're in trouble anyways. Okay, so that's kind of what I was afraid of. Like, we could force the stuff through here. Okay, this is the worst of both worlds, right? They go days into Murktide. Mike, look what you did. I'm just kidding. All right, let's do this right. I think we're probably still okay, to be honest. We take 8. I did not with that hand. I did not want to pitch cast endurance. Like, if I had natural order in hand, maybe, but like not with that hand. We take 8 here, and then we just kill this, and then hopefully that just like stops the bleeding. It drew out a force. Sure. Don't reanimate, please. Something. All right, we're in business. We can bash first, I guess. Game might be over. We'll see. Our opponent literally has to have something relevant here. Sure, I'm not sure that's it, but what am I trying to do here? This game 2. This is game 1. Okay. We do. I think this is an endurance line though. Like, how do we lose here? I'm trying to think. I think endurance is it. They have to hit the Gris. they're dead. Nope. They didn't need to play this. That was not. Actually, that might have been a mistake by me too. Didn't matter. Don't even need to play optimally. Deck's gonna carry. All right. I guess scam. But obviously the collector oof. We're like almost pre-boarded already. Like, Snuff obviously doesn't have text in this matchup. I like Fairy Macabre for their scam. Um, and I think there's one other card. I don't like Hoof. I don't think they can be in a track, so that's why. Like, even if they borrow it, I just don't think they're gonna beat it. What is the other card I'm boarding it? Looks like it was in Legions, and maybe for like the Dothy Void Walker, in case it comes up. Like sometimes you can like deal lethal if you hit like Bowmasters or their chump blocks. Let me think. A bunch of 3 drops. So this has to hit a dork, otherwise, and then let me think. If that doesn't hit a dork, well, even if it hits a dork, kill the dork. We go turn 2 Artisan, turn 2 Endurance. Maybe that's okay. I don't hate it. Let's try it. Looks worse initially, but it like is good against their scam plays, so maybe that's okay. Why are we drawing mono 3 drops? Like, mm, it feels like whatever we play first is gonna die. I think we kind of have to though. We just run it out. They're gonna kill it. We're gonna go turn 2 Artisan, turn 3 maybe Endurance. If they go for the scam here, we're 100% pitching natural order. Because we're not guaranteed. Sure. Don't think we care, for the most part. Land drop here is pretty nice. That is not land drop. This is the fear that I have with keeping these kind of hands. We need to not draw the remaining 3 drops in our deck, and we did. Okay, it's a Telegraph Bowmasters. Sure. It'll be funny one of these if people are bluffing and we just actually declare the blocks. Sure. Luckily they have no clock. Land, please. Thank you. We do it now in case they Murktide. Or we don't want them to brainstorm response at 5 days, dude. That's like a killer. Sure. Reanimate. Well, it's Modern Horizons 2 for what it's worth. But I can't speak on that, to be honest. Fiend Artisan. So the question is like, do we care, right? What are they gonna get out of their deck that is good against us? Um, like they can spend 3 mana to get a Bowmaster. I don't like. Who cares, right? But they can have it. Okay. At least now we play through days. Happy about that. Like, I'm not gonna respect that they can actually utilize Artisan the way we can. Like, I really don't know what they're gonna get. Maybe a Voidwalker. Like, maybe that's worth it to them. This is such a slap in the face, to be honest. Like, the Artisans on the other side, we just don't care. We're daring them to have the actual creature that matters. Sure. So they don't have it. See, this is what I mean. Like, I don't think they have anything relevant. Sure. Not what I want to see. I think we keep it back. Fauna Shaman, the other thing it does, if Harry's still on the line or on Twitch chat, it can, in an emergency, pitch into Traxler that we need to somehow get out of our hand. What is going on here? What are they getting? 3? Sure, it's probably Plague Engineer, I'd guess. Okay, that, sure. Mm, like, do we even care? Aquapars, they keep doing it, and then they grow their 4/4. Do they have UC non-mana? What do you mean by that? They probably have basics, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding your question. I wish I drew a 1-drop so I can actually just pitch, but it's awkward now, right? They have basics for sure. That's the whole point of Troll. Or one of the points. Sure, they can keep doing it, I guess. Oh, that's brutal. I think the mistake, I don't know if we had a chance where we could have killed the Fiend Artisan with a token. I feel like now we kind of have to. It's very awkward. I don't think we should have lost this game, but let's see. They target Fiend Artisan, we plus. They get over Orcish Bowmasters, kill our token. We plus again. Yeah, we never drew a 1-drop to pitch. That was the awkward part. Oh, man. Drawing that Atraxa was a disaster. Otherwise, I think we win this game easy. Very awkward. I don't. They can handle a wasteland, I think. If I lose, man, Jesus. Let's play it now. Probably have Edict, but you never know. Maybe they have Bar. There's a couple outs. If we untap, there is a decent chance we stabilize. Okay. That is untapping. The problem is I kill one of the Bowmasters, then the other thing can attack. I think we get another Artisan. Plague Engineer wouldn't even help here. Although I'm considering it now over the Legion's End for like situations like this. Murktide Regent Troll. Do we care about Murktide here? I think the scariest card is probably Brainstorm, given that they have 4 cards in hand. I don't think Troll is actually kind of scary here too. We can hard cast it. It's a lot of mana though. I think we need to split the Murktide and the Brainstorm for sure. Well, to be fair, they can't cast Murktide till later. I think it's like that. And maybe this can, like, entice them enough. Actually, giving them the Troll probably might not have been smart because they can actually fix the Brainstorm. So maybe I'm supposed to pair the Murktide with the Troll. But that gives them 2 threats. I didn't really want that. They reanimate here is a problem. They don't. Wait, this is the Ring Bearer? Oh my god. Blank after blank. Alright. Let's see. Is there any reason to run Crime here? Probably not. Very awkward that we lost that game. I feel like either we misplayed or just we hit a really weird corner case there. Don't think we're supposed to lose, like I said, with Fiend Artisan. There's a chance. The problem is like the fogs, like from their artisans, sorry, from their bowmasters, prevents us from getting through. If we got our 1 bowmasters to like chump block, I'm not sure that actually buys us anything for what it's worth. All right, we'll see. We're on the play now. Very awkward game. Don't think we're supposed to lose that game, but it can happen. Sure. They probably have a what's his troll instead. So we got turn. Yeah, I think that's correct. You want daze the reclaimer? They think they can. Sure. That's pretty funny. So for those of you who are keeping track, whatever baited up for, so I think I'm happy with Shaman there. Maybe they reanimate here. Sure, I think that's okay. I think I actually run out the cradle here if they're doing that. I want to bog, probably end step. Well, not necessarily. Actually, I take that back. I want to set it up so that I can actually hardcast Endurance for value, and then set up Super Reclaimer. If it's resolved, I can get something else. Okay. Might as well. Sure. Very awkward. That is the bailout. Our opponent, LOL, sick top decks. All right, one more to go. I'm gonna use the restroom. I know, right? How dare we draw the natural order? Why do we put it in our deck? All right. I don't feel like we need to go back and review that second match. Maybe I'll do that if I have spare time. But under most circumstances, I probably would recommend reviewing it as a general rule of thumb. Your losses. I don't think we're supposed to lose when we have that kind of when we essentially have a grist going, right? The only thing I will say is maybe we were just a little bit unfortunate. Like we drew a Traxa, and then we didn't draw the one drop that we needed to actually kill the artisan, right? Like we can stomach. We can let me get this going. We can stomach a few artisan activations for Bowmaster. It's just like we never drew anything I wanted to pitch. Um, and maybe like drawing that Traxa obviously hurts, but maybe we're supposed to tick down before it got too late, right? Sacrifice. I didn't really want to lose an endurance. That was the problem. Maybe the misplay was not killing the artisan there, because we're gonna lose the endurance anyways. So in hindsight, maybe that's the one play. Like to me, there was not any real line of thinking that um, was real debatable otherwise, right? Like it seemed like the game. Not, I wouldn't say played itself, but the lines were fairly intuitive. And then game three, I think we played well. I think our opponent also played well. Give them credit. The sequencing to grief us and force us to tap out because we have to cast the endurance there, and then get the troll. That's like pretty clean sequencing. I don't know if that's by coincidence or not, because obviously if it's something else, maybe we just let the grief go. But oh my god, we're playing Ali probably on lands. This is a mulligan. Against Ali, I don't know. Bowmaster's bad. Shepherd's bad. Keep. Uh, Probably put the Bowmasters back just because it's irrelevant against. Well, actually, I take that back. I think he's been playing like a blue splash kind of deck. It's kind of different. To be honest, I don't know what he's playing off the top of my head. Like, um, yeah. So maybe it's the Shepherd actually. Let's do that. I don't know if he still has Mox Diamond or not. Maybe I'm supposed to put back the collective. I don't know. He does have Mox. Okay, yeah. I didn't want to look it up. Only because I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I felt like if we're just playing for learning, especially since it's for EW. You can't like search up your opponent like before the round or something like that in paper, right? So I have to make a quick judgment call. Also, I think it's just better practice, honestly. I think maybe you lose equity for the match, but you become a better player. All right, there's the Mox that we spoke of. Ew, I do not Do not want to play against a reclaimer there. Honestly, I think this is the first time I'm playing against Ali's latest list, so I wouldn't be surprised if I'm an underdog because I don't have the reps. I don't know if they played against. Actually, they have played against our list before. Probably, maybe not on their current list, but from a strategic standpoint, I would imagine Ali's at least ahead there. Okay, okay. Um, the question here is, we're not gonna run the cradle out. Question here is, are we gonna fetch black mana? Probably, I think. Just do that. Shut off. Wow. Okay. So Ollie can. Ugh. Ollie can map. Maybe not, depending on what. Wait, did they? Yeah, do that with brainstorm. Cast brainstorm. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Gonna waste this presumably. Attack first. Yeah. Sure. I think on the off chance. Oh my God, why? On the off chance Ali has another what is it called? Another land off the top. I don't want Earl to escape here. I think we just let's just, you know, take our medicine, so to speak. If it's another wasteland on the top, I think it's fine. I don't think we care. At least Ollie's in top deck. Our draws have been hideous though. Sure. Our draws have been hideous. That's pretty good. How many fetchables we have left? We have an arbor, two arbors, and then we have a forest. I wonder if it makes any. We have two cradles. I think we're just gonna. They may just get. I'm trying to think here. What are we doing? Yeah, let's just run this out. We have another one in hand. All right, what are they gonna get with map here? Probably Saga, I'd imagine. Sure, that makes sense. Sure. I think what's gonna happen is Ali's gonna expect us to rotate. We're not gonna rotate, and then we're gonna go to upkeep. They're gonna waste, and then we're gonna respond. So there might be a waste here, so they don't lose, right? Wow, that's disrespectful. Woo. Okay. The problem is we're nowhere near winning. Probably another waste. I don't know. Maybe. How many turns can Ali keep up the wasteland? I guess is the question, right? Our bowmaster has no text at the moment. We have like all. Oh my god, that's actually very annoying. Uh, sure. That is actually really annoying. Yeah, that's fair. We can, to be fair, we can go creature, cradle into whatever, but that's fair, Romano. I guess they're not playing around that. I think I'm gonna lose now. Here, I would be surprised if they don't waste. So, let me think. If I fetch a Arbor here, it's gonna pay 2 for the cradle. We're gonna pay 2 here, and then the cradle makes 2. We're gonna sack it, and then really force the wasteland out. If this doesn't force a wasteland, I don't know what will. Like, yeah. If that doesn't force a wasteland, I don't know what will. Like, we're gonna get cradle. I don't want to play this out. That is interesting. The problem is the saga really is gonna start. Man, all right, I'm gonna have to try to think how I'm gonna navigate through this tabernacle, and I think the way is we need to save the cradle in our hand, and then we'll play this out. There's really no. This is earmarked now for Hoof. Maybe another wasteland. I don't know. Hey, David, how's it going? Yeah, another wasteland. So it's just gonna be a war of attrition now. Like we're gonna alternate wastelands and cradles. They should do it now while we're tapped out, but yeah. There's no need to run out the bowmasters because we can't kill the next turn. We have another cradle in our yard. Like the cradle in my hand is earmarked already for the kill turn, and I don't think we care about their sagas. Like they're gonna have to pay their own tabernacle tax. I don't think we care. Sure, I guess. Let's see. They have one wasteland in the yard already. Sure. Sorry, in exile. I guess that. Wait, this is. Let's dismiss this. So they only have maybe one more wasteland. I don't know. Like we're not gonna respect the the sh- the attacks there, I guess. Nope. Is there a reason to fetch here? Probably not yet. And then pass. It'll be interesting whether Ali makes a token here. That's gonna tell a lot about what is in his hand. So they do it for value, okay. That means I would surmise they drew something that they want to spend mana on. Oh, they don't have a target. Interesting. That may be a neat. Ew. Freak. Was not expecting that. Okay. I think we can live with that though. What do they? Oh, they got 2 wastelands back. Jesus. That is a problem. That is a problem. They got Wasteland Saga. And we're like down to our last cradle that's gonna get wastelanded. I think we need an endurance here. That's like I think that we've sandbagged the green sun enough. This is actually a really fun game, to be honest. We know 2 cards in their hand are Wasteland and Saga. So I'm gonna type that. Don't care. That's not gonna matter. We can play through Tabernacle. That's not a problem. I'm gonna pay for all. We don't have any cradles left to get. Pays for herself, which I like. And we are now, this has to hit in the loam, otherwise we can't win. The cradle, unfortunately, is gone, and we don't have any more in the yard. I, I'm trying to think if we should have known Ali had another wasteland because they didn't fetch one. This is why it really matters to know how your opponent's deck works. Sure. Like I'm not sure if that was telegraphed. Maybe I made a mistake. It's hard to say. But it's we're out of Kratos, which is the hard part now. So question here is now, do we pay for everything? I think so. And I think we now start to bash with the endurance. Like the cards in our hand don't matter too. That's the other thing. So we might as well pay if nothing matters, right? Hey, Icy, how's it going? If I attack with a reclaimer here, um, Ali can bog me. I don't think I want that to happen. And not to mention, well, let me think. Yeah, let's just attack with the endurance. It's safe. If it's a 4, so it kills. Yeah, okay. God damn, the Reclaimer's too strong. Reclaimer too strong. I think we're probably an underdog now at this point. Natural Order has some lines to bail us out, but it's going to be hard. There is some merit to maybe conceding at this point, but I don't think we're dead is the problem. I think the line, man, we might have to endurance ourselves to put the Kratos back. Draw the Atraxa hurts too. I really wish we were playing Blood Moon, because I think their deck has a problem with Blood Moon, given its 3 colors and kind of suspect mana in my opinion. Maybe they attack, maybe they don't, I don't know. Sure. There's still a bog, god dang, in their deck, so I think we just do that. They want to get Wasteland, I guess they can. Might have, yeah, man. I have to think about F6ing now. We're behind on clock, so not to mention also I'm trying to think how. I know how to get out of it, but we have to like get lucky with top decks. Like we, the problem is like we were out of cradles, and we need to draw the endurance, pitch the tracks up, put the cradles back in our deck, and then we're live again. And maybe I should have saw the loam coming because they didn't reclaim him for it, but hindsight's 2020. This is a hell of a game though. I guess worthy of a 5-0 match. Sure. Smells like bog. I feel like we kind of have to. It sucks, but we have to force the bog out, right? Yeah, I mean, we know about it. I think it's fine. For what it's worth, like their version is not the normal version too. So there is that, but like, and unfortunately, their mana base is greedier than normal, and that's the one thing we can't do is we can't punish greedy mana bases. That's like one of the weaknesses of our deck. Jesus. Sure. Might be too little, too late. Might be too little, too late. I know, right? Where's the Blood Moon heroes that we need? Where are the Blood Moon heroes that we need? Or the Backs to Basics heroes? We our deck plays a pretty respectable mana base, but maybe we're. Hey, Obsidian Jeff. I've thought there's like I've flirted with the idea multiple times of excavator, but or even like loam or even wither bloom command. Agreed, Inquisitor. I, for what it's worth, I can play pretty fast if need be. I don't think games two will be as grindy as this one right now, but we'll see. Also, Ali has the advantage that he knows roughly what my list looks like, whereas like his list is always changing, which is good. So I don't really know that game one. Like we see the swords, right? We really didn't really expect that game one, but what did they get? Saga, alright. And for what it's worth, now we're slightly ahead of time because they have more triggers than us. So, in case that matters, I don't think it will. For what it's worth, they're gonna kill us pretty soon, anyways. They should be attacking. Yeah, see. We're not drawing dead, but we're pretty dead, if that makes sense. Let's do that. It doesn't matter. We're taxed on mana. I want to sack them anyways. This is a chump block. Actually, we might be just drawing dead now that I think about it because the endurance we didn't draw in time to save our Kratos. All right, let's just pack it in. We're dead here. All right. I think post board we get a lot better. We can cut all these dead cards. It's a little bit awkward because normally I don't like snuff out against them, but it's like kind of good because they have reclaimer draws. Um, I think this is probably gonna be obscene against them. Legion's End maybe is a good hedge. I don't know if he has like Merit Age. It doesn't feel like it to be honest. But it is good against sagas. So and it can hit Reclaimer. Maybe that's the argument we need to not Warden Snuff out. No depths. Okay, sure. Yeah, I didn't think so either for what it's worth. Endurance. I don't think they're. It's kind of hard. Like, I know they have some low. I don't think they have a lot. They don't have exploration. Let's see. Op Asian definitely want. Fairy. We want Fairy against them. Hey, Moray Resvivir. Force is probably good. Well, actually, they only have Saga, I think. Maybe. Well, to be honest, Stone Rain is probably pretty good on Saga. What are we cutting? Let's make some cuts here. Doesn't feel like we need that many endurance because there's no Merit Lage and there's no Merit Lage. There's Euro, but who cares? There's like one or two loams, I think. Bowmass. This card feels terrible against somebody who's gonna actively go for. Let me think. Collector Oof, probably for the cheese play. What does Needle even hit? Maybe not Needle. Saga, that's about it. Let's try this. I boarded the Bowmaster because I know they have Brainstorm and Ponder. I am not bringing Snuff out for a Saga. That doesn't make any sense in my opinion. We draw our ace in the hole. So the question here is, do we try to get them with Agent or do we... The problem is that they just crop rotation for whatever is pretty bad. So I think I'm just going to pass. What other black cards do we have? Did we bring in? I think Gris we still have, and the Crime Punishment. Oh, okay. They're leaving up what appears to me like Flusterstorm. Hmm. It feels like permission to me. Actually, I might have sequenced better. Maybe I'm supposed to play around Fluster, play this first. Yeah, the sequencing could have been better. Sure. Yeah, let's do no. So the problem with that line is like, I should have green sun for two first. Jesus, okay. Did not expect that, but that's okay. It's still a two for three, I guess. Lair, green sun, collector, oof, probably. Just shut off their mana. Sure. F6. Our misplay was not playing around this Flusterstorm, but we cannot let Euro resolve. F6. I think it's game. Unless they have swords here. It felt like we boarded correctly. One endurance to hit the Euro as their only out. Opposition agent lock is pretty clutch. I don't think there's anything for us to needle because if we needle, Reclaimer is gonna hurt us as well. Who cares about their permission? Like they're probably gonna hit our thing early. I think Shepherd's otherwise pretty bad, right? Like we can play around Flusterstorm. Like if they want to force our thing, they can force our thing. Gris is what is irking me. No, I definitely don't like that. Like we can beat a wasteland. This doesn't strike me as great. You still, I have the one to tutor for. This doesn't strike me as great. The shepherd to me like is probably gonna do nothing, in my opinion. Sure. Like yes, they bring in Philosopher's Storm, but like our sequencing such is such that we have to play out the stuff anyways. Maybe it's nice to force a natural order through. I don't know. I think there's no loam. I think we have reclaimer for bog. Okay, sure. I've sold on the like maybe it comes up right, like the Flusterstorm, and I think we have like random removal that can hit them. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Ponder, reclaimer turn one. We're gonna go turn one Hierarch and hope to cheese a win with Agent. They're probably going to, if they have force, they will force it. Five O's on the line here. Pretty medium stakes. Or low stakes, really. Maybe they force this, I don't know. If they don't removal. I doubt it. Actually, Ramar is here. Congratulations on your second place. I already, broadcasted to the world there. Um, so the interesting thing is, I think the the fact that they have Reclaimer here and they can just do it in response to our agent, I think we main phase it now. They're leaving a Fluster. It's obvious. Okay, they forced. That's fine. So the good thing is we gotta waste Ali's mana, right? Like suboptimal sequencing, I guess. Oh my god, that is well. At least the Caracas is. That means they can't use that mana. At least you can do that. Attack for one. I think that's fine. The math is always 4. We need to counter 4 in this matchup. Trying to think if there's anything we want to see with sure. If there's anything we want to see with ones, I don't think at the moment. Maybe it's better than. Bowmaster doesn't really do anything here too. I kind of regret bringing it in. I think we once here in case it matters. Uh, uh, Hierarch pays for itself, which is kind of neat. It's two. I have land draw for days, so let's do that. We gotta be cautious on times because we have Worcester Tabernacle triggers. That's actually pretty good. Let's fetch now. Euro's still nowhere online. In case they have a bog, I mean a swords. I want a bog now. I don't want to have to worry about the euro like being a factor later on. If they want to waste me, they can. I don't think it matters. It's a wasteland war now. Ugh, that's annoying. So the question here is like, do we feign a natural order? Like, I could pretend and have them pay for the reclaim for each other, for instance. No, let's just play it safe first. Um, they're gonna waste. It's a force. I'm gonna force Ali to make a move here. Ugh. Okay. Well, the good thing is Ali's gonna have to pay his own tabernacle triggers. We're gonna F6. You're gonna waste me here. That's fine. Oh my god, that was a misplay. I'm supposed to pitch this. That's bad. Okay. I was supposed to pitch with a trigger on the stack. No, I just screwed up. Yes. And I lost my higher for no reason. No. So yeah, I'm supposed to have an extra hierarch. I just like click through it. Might be game losing. We'll take the 4, doesn't matter. I'm so mad at myself right now. He could get blasted on too, that'd be awkward. Alright, F6. Sure. blow up his own reclaimer. I think that's fine. We'll take 4. He has to pay Tabernacle Trees. Or just... Yeah, I am so mad at myself. I do that a lot. Like, I intend to pay and then I, like, click through it. Oops. The good thing, though, is shields are somewhat down. Oops. Maybe that force? That would be awkward. Oops. Oh. Good point. I forgot. I think we're gonna lose on clock. How many forces could they have? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I think we got it if we don't have clock issues. So we'll see. Oh my god. That's a third force? Maybe Wasteland here. I think if we lose a clock because we're like pretty commanding a spot here. Like we're gonna. Mhm, 14, maybe not. You're right. 12. Oh, we're gonna lose. Pretty good game. It is what it is. I thought we were gonna get it, to be honest. Natural order still wins from here. Actually, no, it doesn't, because the hoof's in the yard. Brutal. Okay. Oh, we don't have another one. All right, we're dead. Well, that was close. I think we win this. Oh, man, I thought we had it for sure. Like two forces out already. Oh, good games. Yeah, I thought we had it. Um, I thought between Fauna Shaman just doing it a bunch of times if need be, we're just gonna get there with the hoof. But Romario pointed out like the zombie tokens were a problem after the Tabernacle. Maybe we could have played a little bit tighter towards the end. I'm sure that maybe there's like an optimization here or there. I think that's one of the strengths of like having being able to play fast. I definitely made some mistakes. Well, I don't think anything egregious, but like I would suspect that the last few turns could have been a little bit more optimal. But we were under the clock crunch, and usually I'm not. But that first game went pretty long, and um, we won game two with off the back of opposition agent, and then game three they had the force for it, which is fine. Uh, we lost to essentially a triple force draw, so to speak, right from our opponent. I think we boarded correctly by not bringing in the grist later on. The shepherd there to force through a thing I think I do like. Endurance, I like the one. I think we boarded correctly. The only card that felt really sketch to me was the Bowmasters. And maybe we bring something else instead of the Bowman. Like this felt pretty bad. Like honestly, they had what brainstorm. That's about it. I don't recall them even pondering. I think they did, but like I forgot. They do it early, so like this felt awful. The Bowmasters. Not to mention we opened ourselves up to Wasteland. If I were to board again, I can see bringing in snuff out. Like the reclaimer hands are like really good. So maybe keep two snuff outs and then force Ali to essentially counter. Right? Like I think I like that going forward. Like we were learning the matchup. I think it was fine. I don't think so. Always home. Not here. I only played one league tonight. We lost the 5-0 right now. We beat like show and tell reanimator hybrid. We beat. I don't even know what this person was playing. Let's see. I don't remember. And then we beat Grixis Delver. We beat Scam, and then we lost a very insane game to Ali. Oh, okay. We beat Turbo Goblins. Maybe I don't know. There's not too many people on our list, but maybe. I think that the deck actually played pretty well. the I think if we feel like we need help against goblins because Romario, finished second place with it today. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of Turbo Muxus players. I think Romario can even like vouch. I don't even think Plague Engine is even good against that deck. Like it's like okay, right? Like so it would maybe take the Legion's end. The Fauna Shaman, like straight up, was kind of impressive. Like it drew out foul. It pitched. I don't even remember what for a cuff late game. It did not look that bad. So there you go. So it's not even good, right? Like Romario said it for himself. Like I think if you want game against, like just play four snuff outs. The card's incredible. I'm not like advocate for snuff out right now publicly because this is like a rare time in Legacy where we don't care about black creatures outside of Opposition Agent, which is played in how many decks, right? Like one maybe, the mono black deck. Like we play occasionally play it. It's not even that great. Like to be honest, like out of our deck. Um, but how like that's the only card that we're really afraid of, and it's really one deck that plays it. Like one of my biggest regrets was not playing Gataxian Probe when it was legal, and I do not. I don't want other people to feel like they missed out the chance to play Snuff Out in our deck. Now that's quote unquote legal, right? Like there will be a time where there's gonna be a black creature we care about, and that time is not right now, but it someday it will happen in the future. And just play four copies. The card is completely broken in our deck. Let me see what else. I think the list felt pretty fine, right? We lost the 5-0 match, but I was honestly impressed with how it played out. I think Bowmaster's like one is fine. Like it can kill an X1 randomly. The threat of it is like kind of important, right? Like you can blow people out, or not even blow people out. But it's like I just like killing an X1 if need be, right? Like tutoring for it with Fiend Artisan. The floor is like fairly high. Like I don't even know what else we're gonna play in that slot, anyways. Um, Eight Hierarchs, I think we're good. I don't think I would change anything. Like we lost a really close match for the 5-0, and I think the deck felt pretty good. It's just like no bad cards like Cradle essentially, right? Like everything's good. Like yeah, you can play Bowmasters if you feel like you need help against I don't know creature combo. I guess it's good against, but I honestly think eight Dorks is just better against most of the field, and we don't need to kill opposing Bowmasters because we don't draw cards. So I'm pretty loving it where this is. Again, the idea is besides Snuff Out and Thoughtseize, everything else is like roughly the same value in the sideboard. Like these Snuff Out is like almost main deck material. Thoughtseize is like pretty good for control and like we're never gonna be combo without it, even with it for endurance main. So that's why I have those eight slots. But the seven one ofs, I think the Boseiju is like sort of a one of too. That's almost pre-boarded. Same thing for the Shepherd, and the Collector Oof, and to even to an extent the Bowmasters. So makes it hard for an opponent to play around these one ofs, and I like that philosophy a lot. Anybody have any questions for me? Here's my socials again. Uh, I think if right now if I lived in Europe and wasn't busy, I'd probably register this exact 75. I think it looked pretty impressive tonight, and even the weakest card that I was most unsure about because I have few reps. Um, Fauna Shaman, it looked good in that lands matchup against Ali, right? Like, I just tutored for a Crater Hoof. Like, it got countered, but, it could have won the game. And then this other time it just drew out force, right? So it could both times, I think. Has Teague been a problem? From our deck or out of against us? Always home. I can answer both against this. Um, I lost to Green White Depths earlier this week before I was taking a break from Magic or from MTGO. Uh, I lost to a match to T, or game to T, and I don't think T. I think T itself is annoying, but I think the bigger deficiency was I realized I just had too many dead cards against Green White Depths, so I added in on the opposition agent and I swapped the Terra Sunder for the Legion's End, which I think is actually a little bit better. So I think to answer your question, I guess yes, but I think also the deck just didn't have enough cards to board out because, and that's actually why I don't like Bowmasters. I just between four endurance, the Shepherd that I think has to be played, Like this is more debatable. I think 4 is the Green Force of Will, like or at least the closest thing we have to it. And I think between 4 Endurance, 1 Shepherd, and 1 Bowmaster, that's already 6 bad cards against Depths, and I don't want more. So yeah, and also you have Artisan, right? Like, you have Grist. There's like ways. Um, like the floor on this card is just extremely high, and I just think it has fewer weaknesses than Bowmasters personally. Like if they're competing for the same slots, aka the slots that are kind of bad against DNT, kind of bad against Merit Lage decks. Obviously, Endurance is good against lands, but way less good against Green White Depths. To answer your question, great question though. Anybody have any other questions? No, it's not even close in my opinion. Like, essentially, run afoul unless the metagame was just all depths and all sneak and show. I'm not running it. Like it just, I want all my cards to be good all the time. Like, and if you look at these cards, they're good in multiple matchups. Whereas Run of Foul is good in like 2 matchups. Like Snuff Out good across the board. Fairy, the ninth graveyard hate. Agent, you know, there's like an pseudo arms race in the green mirror, I guess you want to call that. Legion's End, maybe the weakest card in the 75. That and maybe the Faunasham, which to be honest, impressed. Seize is always good. These are always good. Like I don't want these like very narrow choke or narrow. I don't know. Like what else is like kind of narrow? Carpet of Flowers, I think is kind of narrow. I don't want these narrow cards, so to speak, right? And Run of Foul is like way more narrow than those cards. Good question though. Anybody else have any questions or any recommendations for the raid? Okay, if there's no recommendation, I'll go ahead and raid 019. Okay, and here are my socials again. Good luck to everyone playing Eternal Weekend in Europe this coming weekend. Obviously, don't live in Europe, nor can I play Eternal Weekend, period. So, don't pack your opposition agents for any of my followers, please. Um, if you do want to play this deck, I think it is very well positioned. I think we could have the 3 games against Ali were all very close. And then I think like we got cheesed a little bit in the second game here against Scam, but like outside of getting these cheese lines, I think we're pretty favored there. I think we're very favored against Delver. Uh, I think initiative game 1 can be a little swingy, but I think post board we got a lot of tools for them. Um, Speaking of initiative, if there's an initiative expert, so to speak, here, I'd be curious on their thoughts. Uh, if it were me and I'm playing initiative, here's how I would board against me. I would take out the chalices, and I would maybe take out the archons for Swords of Plowshares, Containment Priest, and then Magus of the Moon. Or again, the Furies, I guess, right? Like, if there's people here, or even if you don't play initiative, like, how would you board? I'd be curious. Like, to me, the Archon of Emeria strikes me as, like, the weakest card. Obviously, the weakest card is Chalice of the Void. I think it's, like, pretty bad. But after that, it gets a little dicey, right? Is it Archon? Is it maybe Touch the Spirit Realm? It's a little slow, but it's good with all the other stuff, right? It's like a combo piece. Anybody have any thoughts on that or no? If not, then I'll call it and I'll raid, 019. All right, the raid has been created. No takers for this question. That's how I would think, right? It feels like this is kind of the weakest card. Everything else is like pretty good. All right, going once, going twice. Good luck, everyone, at Eternal Weekend, and thanks for hanging out tonight. Hope everyone learned something and had fun.